Hey guys, how are you? This is Darcel. I'm back with another share today. Today I have some flowers that I made using the Cricut Mother's Day Bouquet cartridge, and I have used this third image here. Okay, so the third image from the top, that's the top, and the 1, 2, 3, third image. I have my card turned the wrong way because I can't get it into frame. So there you go. And I was inspired by this flower here, which is a Recollections rose, and I think these came out probably about 2 to 3 months ago, they were new in the store, and then I saw them and I grabbed a couple of packs, and then that very day I came home and made my very own recreations of these, and I didn't share them with you all, but I use them on some projects and stuff, which I didn't. Actually, the projects I'm still working on them, so you'll see the flowers later on, the original ones that I made, or the first ones that I made. So anyway, so I participated in my very first flower swap over at littlescrapofheaven.nin.com, and so I decided to go with this flower as my flower to swap. I had another flower in mind, but I decided to go with this one instead. So here it is here. Let's see if I can. Basically, it's just a rose. It's that same rose, and of course this one is a lot bigger than the little tiny one you saw. See that? And you can't, this one's kind of all smashed up. You can't really see the gist of it. But it's a very cute flower. So this one is about 3 inches. Okay. And then the leaf is this little star leaf. And it's off of the same cartridge. And it's this leaf here. Wait, where am I? It's this one here. Okay. It's that one. So it's right above this like maple type leaf. It's right there. And then I cut the leaf at the star leaf at 3 inches. And then these flowers have 5 petals. The first layer is cut at 2 3/4 inches. Then I have 2.5 inches. Then I have 2 1/4 inches. And then I have 1 3/4, and then 1 1/4. Those are the measurements for the flower. And then I just stuck the flower onto this tag that I cut using a Sizzix die, and some paper from my Mind's Eye Penny Lane paper stack. Love that stack. It has a lot of soft purples in it, and it went well with this little flower here. So that's my swap. And then on the back is just my information. So that's that. And then, so of course, after I made those flowers, I wanted to make more flowers because I like making fun, quick, easy stuff. And fun, quick, easy flowers are super cool with me. So now, this flower here that I showed you, that is made using white cardstock. And also it's made using my own handmade glimmer mist. But I'll get into that as I talk about these other flowers. Now these flowers I'm going to pull into frame. These are also made using white cardstock. Okay. So what I did for all of these flowers, including the purple flower for my swap, was the Tim Holtz Dusty Concord. This one here is all of the inks I use are Tim Holtz. So this one is Orange Marmalade. This one is Wild Honey. And this one is Vintage Photo, of course. You know I have to use that. Now all of these were sprayed, including my swap flower, were sprayed with my handmade glimmer mist using Pearl X, which is made using Pearl X, a little tiny bit of Elmer's glue, and water. And then I, just use my little mini mister bottles here. See, this is my brown for this flower actually. Okay, so I inked the edges first, then I folded the papers, and then I unfolded the papers or the petals. Then I took my tool, okay, and then I went over the folded, you know, the petal with the ink a little bit to give it so that it could, so that those crease lines could get some of that darkened color. You see that right there? So that's, then once I did that, then I sprayed with the glimmer mist, my handmade glimmer mist. So this was a brown one. I used a really light green one on this one here. You can't really see it, but you can see a little bit of glimmer there. Let me see if you can see some of the brown glimmer. You can see a little bit of the glimmer there. And then this one here, I sprayed with my yellow glimmer mist. Let me see. You can't see too much of the glimmer there. All right. So then I, like I said, so then I folded, I sprayed, and then I refolded on using different fold lines. Heat set with my heat tool, and then unfolded the petals, and then glued them together, staggering the petals, of course. And then once I glued them together, I just sort of played with the petals a little bit to give it some lift. Then once I did that, stuck my little Recollections rose in the center. And then I sprayed these with some spray starch so that they can hold their shape. And so that's how I did those. I really love those flowers. Super really cute. And of course that 5-petal leaf they all have. Okay. Alright, now these here were all created using craft cardstock. Now this one here was, all of the petals were cut, and then the petals, these petals were individually stamped with this stamp here. It's a Hero Art stamp, and it's called Flower Text, and it's basically some flowers, and then the text is the definition of what a flower is. Let's see that. All right. So then, let me adjust my camera a little bit, guys. It's getting out of whack. Okay. So then, once I stamped that image using walnut stain, inked the edges of the petals using walnut stain, and then the graphics, those flowers that are in that stamp, I colored only a few of those using my Copic At You glitter pens. That made a really fun flower though. Really love this flower. And then I stuck one of my rose beads from my jewelry stash up in the center of that. Now this flower, I didn't spray with any glimmer mist, but I did, once I stamped and colored the petals, I did fold them. And then once I folded them, I just glued them together and sort of played with the petals a little bit. Alright, and then that's on a different leaf on the back. So that's that one. Oh, and then after I was done spraying everything, I went over the edges again with the walnut stain to give it some more dimension. And I did the same thing with those, and it made a big difference. Like then these two were also made with craft cardstock. What I did was ink the edges with vintage photo, used my French script or my script Cuttlebug folder, ran each petal through the Cuttlebug, and then went over the raised embossed area with my tool, using my tool right here, and then also using some vintage photo. Stuck another one of those rose acrylic beads in the center. This one I didn't spray with the glimmer mist, and I didn't do any folding. The only thing I did to this one was just sort of curl these petals up before I glued them together, and then once I glued them together, I just did this and just sort of messed with the little petals a little bit, and I got that little cute little flower. And I really love this one. And then after I was done with everything, I hit the tops of those petals again with the vintage photo to give it some more dimension. Now this one here is the same thing. The only difference is I sprayed this one here with some of my brown glimmer mist, and I used a pearl center for that one. And that was it. It's the only difference there. And so these are all of my little flowers that I made. I had a lot of fun making these. They were very quick. Again, I like making quick stuff, quick flowers. Because I like to hurry up and see my finished project. That gives me motivation and inspiration to go on. So that's it though. So thank you all for watching and allowing me to share my projects with you all. I shall see you soon with more, and I shall talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye bye.